Very good morning. Once again, I welcome you all for this day 5 of our refresher program on NAC awareness and revised framework for autonomous institution. So today we are going to see about the criterion 3, which all talks about research, innovations and extension. So introduction part the criterion 3 totally it deals with research. How far an institution giving importance for this research? What kind of policy created for the research, and how far the responsibility of each and every faculty members, because not merely handling classes alone it's not sufficient for the individual development of the faculty and as well as for the development of the institution. The faculty staff members have to take research projects. You have different kinds of research projects when it's come for arts and science. Simply I can say impress ICSR projects are there, and apart from research also in this criterion, that is the serving the community through extension activities. What kind of an extension activity is provided by the institution to inculcate the social responsibility among the students. So the next slide gives you the total points for this research, innovation and extension. There are totally seven key indicators where we are going to see in detail: promotion of research and facilities, research mobilization for research, innovation ecosystem, research publication and awards, consultancy, extension activities and collaboration. So the first point is 3.1 is promotion of research activities, which carries 20 points. In that 3.1.1, the institution research facilities are frequently updated, and there is well-defined policy for promotion of research, which is uploaded on the institution website and implemented, which carries 6 points. So first thing, foremost thing is the research policy. When all the criterion, when keep on saying that you should have a proper manual, that is in the sense proper policies and procedures for each and every activity. So research seems to be a very important part. So you should have a research policy, and this is qualitative in nature. At the topmost you can see Q1M, which represents the qualitative in nature. You have to give the description part. In this you have to tell what is the main objectives of your research cell, and what kind of awards that you are giving to the faculty members or even the achievers, not only from my within DB Jain, but also you can provide this award to outsiders as well. And writing, currently we don't have this practice. I request the like a research coordinator or IQAC team to take it forward, so that which gives us a more weightage. And research incentives, as you all know, like seed money, like the teachers, those who are taking any research project, for the expenses will be borne by the institution itself. So those kind of research incentives, and collaborative research project with foreign institutions or universities need to be done. And all such things, like you need to pass a proper resolution through the governing body academic council, and any changes in the research policy need to be updated on a regular basis with the approval of the governing body and academic council. 3.1.2, the institution provides seed money to its teachers for research, which carries 8 points. So you need to, this is quantitative in nature, where you need to give the data in numbers. A list of faculty who have been awarded seed money for research along with the title of the project, duration and amount year-wise. So the institution, this can be one of the, like the best practices can be adopted by the institution. The college management can encourage the faculty to go for a research project by giving a seed money. So those sanction letters need to be as a proof of document, and you should have a proper breakup statement in your financial statements. So audited income expenditure statement should highlight the expenditure, how much that you are giving a seed money. So which is to be properly signed and evaluated, verified by the auditor as well. Grant for other than research projects need to be avoided, as I said, any conferences, seminars, faculty participating in conference seminars, which is expenses borne by the institution, will not be considered under this 3.1.2. So under 3.1, you have 3.1.3, percentage of teachers awarded national or international fellowship for advanced studies research. That is fellowship award, which is received by the teachers, need to be updated. It is a qualitative, it's a quantitative in nature. You have to give the teacher's name and the nature of award and awarding agencies and all such things. The copies of e-copies of the award letters will be considered as a documentary evidence. So moving on to the next 3.2, research mobilization for research, which carries 10 points. In the 10 points, here I have taken three key indicator under this resource mobilization for research. 3.2.1, 3.2.2 and 3.2.4. All the three, they are talking the same part but in a different dimensions. Grant received from government and non-governmental agencies for research projects, endowments in the institution. Percentage of teachers having research projects during the last 5 years. Number of departments having research projects funded by the government and non-government agencies during the last 5 years. So the first one, which talks about the grants received from government and non-governmental agencies. So those funds which is not given by the institution, which is given by the government or any third parties, where we can take this ICSSR, UGC project, DST and lot more to add on. So how much the amount that you have received, that copy need to be saved it appropriately by the research department, the e-copies. Then the completion letter, after completing the project, you will be getting this awarded letter. That letter need to be documented appropriately. So this 3.2.2, percentage of teachers having research project during the last 5 years. So research project, here again they want the list based on the number of teachers. 3.2.1 representing the amount that we have received. 3.2.2 representing the number of teachers taken this research project, which carries 2 points. And finally 3.2.4, which talks about the department wise breakup. Say Department of Commerce, this much of amount that received by the institution. Department of Computer Science, this much of fund has been received. So all such things are a little bit similar. So they want these kind of a breakup, so which carries almost 7 points for this resource mobilization for research. And final 3 points for percentage of teachers recognized as research gates. So most of the qualified, qualified PhD holders can be a part of a research gate under the University of Madras alone. Earlier, you can be a research guide in any of the university across India, but the external mode it got closed. So they have an option to guide only under University of Madras mode. So I request the faculty to apply for this research guide, those who have completed their PhD and further fulfillment of University of Madras requirement, please go for research guideship. And also we have 3 more points for this percentage of teachers recognized as research gates. So moving on to 3.3, which is an innovation ecosystem. So this is qualitative in nature. You have to give 500 words description. Institution has created an ecosystem for innovations, creation and transfer of knowledge supported by dedicated centers for research, entrepreneurship, community orientation, incubation, etc., which carries 5 points. So when it comes for arts and science college, I hope this innovation ecosystem is a little bit tough, but we can do some sort of arts and science related ecosystem. Like in the sense we can just a suggestion. I think already we had discussed in our WhatsApp group where we can have a like share market trading office in our college where we can tie up with the trading share trading organization. You can have a separate research room, trading room for share trading, so that the students can go there and they can also learn in a very practical manner. Apart from that, you can also have HR consultancy services which also work out. In this part, you need to describe what is the research infrastructure that you are providing for the teachers and students, and seed funding, how much the amount that you are contributing as a seed fund for the teachers. So funding to faculty members to attend seminar, conference or any of the publications, and MOUs with the organization again is very important. When you are starting a trading organization, share trading organization, you have to get the permission from the managing director of the institution of the share trading organization. Their MOU is very important. And IPR cell, intellectual property rights cell, Center for Entrepreneurship Development, innovation incubation centers, startup initiatives. I think last time, which is initiated by Dr. Jagdishan sir, we have started some one or two initiatives, and which we have got points for that as well. So that can be take it forward, and it should be have a regular practice which helps an individual students as well. So 3.3.2, number of workshops, seminars conducted on research methodology, intellectual property rights, entrepreneurship and skill development, which is quantitative in nature. You have to give it in data for the period of last 5 years. So what kind of a program organized in terms of research methodology, research purpose, what kind of a program? IPR, and recently April 25, I think so, it's an World Intellectual Property Rights Day, where you can also organize these type of programs on that particular day, and you can bring awareness to the students on this IPR, how to file a patent, copyright, trademark, all such things are IPR. Entrepreneurship skill development program for the teachers and students as well. So all such things you should have a proper report. Any program you should have a proper report, and you should have a proper brochure who is the resource person, and you should have a proper photograph with the data and the captions. So it should be updated then and there in our college website. So only activities pertaining to this part alone you have to mention it over here. So moving on to the next 3.4 is research publication and awards, which carries 30 points. 3.4.1, the institution ensures implementation of its stated code of ethics for research through the following. So which has been mentioned here: inclusion of research ethics in the research methodology coursework, presence of ethics committee, plagiarism check through software, research advisory committee. So I hope we need to have a very important concentrate on this part, because I think we don't have these type of procedure in our college. So we need to go for an ethics committee. You should purchase the plagiarism software, and research advisory committee is not there. We need to introduce, and you should have a proper regular meeting and minutes to be recorded appropriately. And I hope the research methodology paper which has been implemented in BBA department, I think. So management studies, they have this subject called research methodology. Since they are doing a research project, so they are having this research methodology paper, and also try to incorporate this research methodology paper in your course as well. So bills of, again, the same continued part. So you should have a purchased software plagiarism bills to be maintained. Report of research content checked through licensed plagiarism check software. Provide a web link on the institution website, which should lead to a landing page where code of ethics for research is hosted. So all such things need to be fulfilled. 3.4.2 number of PhDs registered per teacher during the last 5 years. So again, this is we need to more concentrate, because I think only 2 to 3 faculty members are having this gateship in our DP Jain College. So those who have completed PhD, kindly fulfill the requirement of the university, so that you can also go for applying for this gateship. So list of faculty with their names and their research scholars title need to be updated in the matrix. Document of registration of the research scholar indicating the Gates name from the higher education institution. And also you should have a separate page of research in your college website. I hope we have it. I think so. Registration outside the assessment period not to be included. So during the 5 years part alone, your data to be updated. Anything beyond, before that 5 years, data should not be included in this part. 3.4.3 number of research papers per teacher in the journals notified on UGC website, which carries 5 points. So I hope mostly everyone are looking out for publication, publishing your papers in UGC website. So at least the monthly once, one paper in UGC listed journals will help the individuals and as well as for the institutions. So functional link to be specified to the actual article in the relevant section on the UGC portal. So you need to take the screenshot of the link of that particular page need to be taken up. Every individual have to send that particular link to the IQAC team, so that they can make a proper document of it. Publication which does not reflect the institution name under the author affiliation not to be considered. So this is something very important. Suppose if I am doing a PhD under say Madurai Kamaraj University, when I publish but I am working in DP Jain College. When I publishing a paper, what I will do, my name, research scholar Madurai Kamaraj University alone, I'll put and I'll publish. So that part will not be taken into account. So the publication should contain DP Jain College. So evidence, as I said, the functional link should be there. The ISSN number, name of the journal, date of publication, and all the cover page of the cover page of the journal, web link, abstract, all such needs to be maintained as a document. So even the last time when we had this NAC third cycle, one of the peer team member has suggested to have at least monthly one UGC journal to be published by the faculty member. You can also think that we have somewhere around 100 faculty members. For example, if one faculty taking 12 publication in a month, 12 into 100 which comes to 1200, which gives a very good weightage. You will get 5 out of 5. This is what one of the comment which is given by the one of the peer team member. So it is for your individual development and as well as for the institution development as well. 3.4.4 the number of books and chapters in edited volumes, books published and paper published in national international conference proceedings per teacher. So it is a quantifiable information. You need to give the numbers, how many number of faculties given their publishing in conference proceedings, books, how many books that they have published. and or even in the edited volume, that is chapters also you can also contribute. I hope mostly everyone we publish in national or international conference proceedings, and very few go for this books publication and publishing in any of the chapter in the books. So I prefer please to concentrate more, because like we'll have a very good weightage, and very few, like I hope Dr. Shaktivel Murugan sir, he has written some 5 to 6 books on accounting and entrepreneurship. So you can also take your specialization, and you can write a book, and there are a lot of publishers are willing to publish. So please do concentrate on publishing the books. So you should have a proper evidence like ISBN number, name of the journal, year of publication, and you should have the cover page, content page, and where your name is appearing. If it is online also, you can have to provide the web link of that, and any certification given by the publisher and the email confirmation, all such things has to be given as a document, as the documentary evidence. So this is more important, 3.4.5 bibliometrics of the publication. So on average citation index in Scopus or Web of Science. So how many of them have viewed your paper, and they have quoted your name in their paper and given in the reference part. So which leads to a citation process. So I request again the IQAC team to conduct this citation index and H index, how to view this citation and H index so that it can be a knowledge transformation. So here you have a weightage of 5 points, the name of the author, title, journal. Again, the citation index which can be retrieved from InflipNet directly. So also even which will be automatically taken by the NAC team as well. So we can also able to go and access this InflipNet, and we can see how much the average citation of every teacher. So as I said, 3.4.6 again, which is relevant to H index of the institution. So this also need to be very important. So 3.4.5 and 3.4.6, which two things most of us couldn't know how it has been calculated. So it can be a knowledge sharing session by the IQC team can conduct this program. So moving on to the next major part is 3.5, consultancy. Revenue generated from consultancy and corporate training during the last 5 years, which carries 5 points. I think again where we are lacking on this consultancy part as well. I can take an example of Sastra University, which is at Tanjavur. What they will do is they have a tie-up with the TCS, and every week the faculty from Sastra University, they are coming to TCS in Chennai, or through video conferencing, like they are taking handling a training session, corporate training session, and also some of the TCS employees pursuing their PG programs at Sastra University. So they are taking classes. There is a faculty from Sastra University handling classes for the employees at TCS. So this is something called as a corporate training, where the income is generated from the third parties. So this where we need to work upon it, because we are zero when it takes for this consultancy criterion, key indicator. So how much the amount generated need to be updated, which is a quantifiable information. Revenue generated by testing services by use of facilities of the institution not to be included. So last third cycle, what we did is TCS, they organized a training program in our college for about a month. I think it is in the year 2013-14. So what we did, we have taken that particular point here and we have given for a NAC evaluation process. What they have returned it and they have mentioned it as a 0 because we are giving space for them to conduct this program. So where that will not be forming part of a training or consultancy. Again, the grants received from research projects which should not be included here. Any consultancy fee from any of the sister institution like in the M&M, which they are providing any consultancy fee, that should not be taken into account. So the evidence part is you need to get the proper document, that is letter from or email communication from the corporate training house, and the revenue part which is generated, which should be updated properly in the audited statement as well. The audited statement should reflect how much the fund has been received from this consultancy part. So next, again the consultancy, next 5 points, the total amount of developing facilities, training teachers and staff for undertaking consultancy. So here audited statement highlighting in terms of expenditure on developing facilities, training teachers and staff for undertaking consultancy year wise. That should have a proper breakup. Again, the audited statement should represent how much the amount that you have spent to the teachers on this consultancy and training part. So it should be, as you all know, like it should be certified by the chartered accountant. So again, the name of the teacher, department, title of the corporate training, revenue generated, and number of trainees attended the session. All such things need to be updated in the Excel file and it's a quantifiable information. So moving on to the next major part in research innovation extension is extension activities 3.6, which carries 50 points. 3.6.1 extension activities are carried out in the neighborhood community, sensitizing the students to social issues for holistic development and impact thereof, which carries 10 points and which is a qualitative in nature. You have to give it in a descriptive part of 500 words. So you should mention here, what should mention over here is you should mention how you are inculcating the how you are inculcating or sensitizing the students with respect to the social issues. So you should have a proper a program activity need to be conducted in association with the NSS, NCC or CSR committees, RRCs there, and we have different kinds of club activities out there. So the activities such as the health awareness camp, blood donation, Swachh Bharat, anti-drug, road safety, wear helmet, and you have multiple activities which you can do neighborhood community, a friend of police as well. So you should have a proper no if any activity to be carried out, you should have a proper tie-up should be there. You should have a proper tie-up and proper approval letter from the concerned authorities need to be maintained. So 3.6.2 which carries 15 points, that is award received by the institution teachers and students from government or government recognized bodies. Like I hope I can take an example, our college every year I hope we are conducting this blood donation camp and more number of units of blood collected and we are receiving an award from the Lions Club or government recognized bodies. So that is that I can take an example like that. The extension activities we can we encourage the students and teachers to take it part, and at least minimum if we get 12 awards we will get 15 points. And finally 3.6.3, the number of extension and outreach programs conducted by the institution through NSS, NCC, Red Cross and YRC. As I said in the first 3.6.1, whatever we have written as a description, you should have a proper data. It should be mentioned in quantifiable information. And again, it's very important that all such activities need to be conducted in collaboration with some third parties, which will have a more weightage for us. So you can see at the first line, you can see details to be furnished. What is the name of the activity, name of the scheme, and collaborating institution. That is through which institution, through like NGOs, it might be an NGOs or any corporate industries, or the friends of police. You are having a connectivity with the police people. So all such things, you should have a proper documentary evidence. You should have a proper report on such activity, invitation brochures circulated to the community people, MOUs tied up letter, and the people involved, there is a students involved in such activities, the attendance to be taken up properly, and what is the expenditure that you have spent, and certificates given to the students, and you should have a proper photograph, and also your program to be like public, that it can be posted in college website, and also you can give it to a newspaper for publication. So 3.6.4, average percentage of students participating in extension activities, as listed in 3.6.3, like how many students have participated. So all such records, and you must give a proper certificate for the students stating that these are the students have participated. So even as well, a number of teachers as well, how many teachers have participated in that particular program, photographs, report of the activity, all such things are need to be recorded as a documentary evidence. So finally, we are moving on to the collaboration part, which carries 20 marks, 20 points. So here we are collaborating with various institutions. Somewhere we lag on this faculty exchange program and student exchange program, where we are lagging. Apart from that, internship, on the job training, project work as a part of their curriculum, where we are concentrating, and the students are going, and we are having a proof of that. But for this faculty exchange and student exchange program, where we need to, like, we have to take some efforts, and we have to introduce this concept in our institution, which helps us to get more weightage. So 3.7.2 is a number of functional MOUs with industries or institution with the national or international, and very specifically you can see is a functional MOUs. You should have at least one program need to be conducted under that particular MOU. So without a program under that particular MOU will not be considered into account. So you should have a proper e-copy of that MOU need to be uploaded in the NAC portal, and what are all the number of activities. Since it is a quantifiable information, you need to list what is the activity and how many students have attended, and what is the title of the program, and who are all the beneficiaries of that particular program. All such things need to be updated in the Excel sheet, and have to be uploaded in the NAC portal. And very specifically, MOUs with a sister institution under the same trust will not be considered. Suppose if you have an MOU with a M&M Engineering College, that will not be considered as a collaboration. Under collaboration flag, which will not be considered. So points to note, and this is not applicable for us, because like the promotion of research and facilities, innovation ecosystem consultancy, these three things which is not applicable for affiliated colleges, since ours is autonomous, we have to follow all the 7 key indicators, and there are certain exemption which is for the affiliated institution alone, not for autonomous institution. So with this, I'm concluding the day 5 criterion 3, research, innovation and extension. Very important criterion, because which carries 150 points, similar to teaching, learning and evaluation, which carries 300, and this one which carries 150. So almost 50% of your total points which comes from criteria 2 and criteria 3, where we need to concentrate on various key indicators. I request everyone to watch the video and post your questions through Google Classroom, so that it can be documented and it can be retrieved at any point of time in future. So please, instead of discussing in WhatsApp group, I request through Google Classroom, post your queries to Google Classroom. Thank you so much.